Welcome guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing because you do not want to miss on all of these updates I'm providing you on a daily basis. This area I want to show you here is coming under a tremendous attack, and this is coming from an unlikely source. Well, not really unlikely, but you would not expect them to reach this far. So let me explain to you what happened at this moment. As you can see, this is the ballistic missile that the Houthis they have, or this kind of ballistic missile I should say. Ballistic missile attack on central Israel. Okay, 18 injured in Tel Aviv as Israelis, the Zionists, they're running for cover. They're fleeing. A lot of their air bases, port cities are now completely empty. They're taking shelter, they're taking cover, they're fleeing. And this is the reality of Israel today. Missile attack on Israel from Yemen's Houthis rebels. Israelis in Tel Aviv and other central cities, Israeli cities, they're running for cover. Houthis vow to support Palestinians amid war in Gaza. What I understand from this statement by Houthis is that Houthis are not attacking Israel because of Lebanon. Okay, that is obviously part of the reason, but the main reason that is striking Israel is because of Gaza. So it does resonate with what Hezbollah said earlier, which is that we will not agree to any ceasefire until there is a ceasefire in Gaza. So looks like to me these other proxies of Iran, they're approaching to that goal of getting a ceasefire in Gaza first and then ceasefire somewhere else in Lebanon. Israeli army said it intercepted a missile that was fired from Yemen towards central Israel. Reuters reported the announcement came after sirens and explosions were heard early on Friday. Army said a surface-to-surface missile was launched from Yemen, possibly by Houthis. The missile attack triggered sirens in the central Israel, including Tel Aviv, IDF said. Now, if you have those images, I don't have it with me and I'm not going to be showing it because YouTube will flag me. But if you go to any website, just Google it and see how Israelis are fleeing. See how panicking they are right now in Tel Aviv because of these Houthi missiles. And I'm not kidding, guys. I'm not kidding. The Houthis are becoming a big nightmare for the Zionist regime. IDF said missiles were intercepted by an Arrow interceptor outside of Israeli territory. There is currently no change to IDF defensive guidelines. The Israeli military said a 17-year-old was moderately hurt by car pulling off the road amid Yemen missile attack. Again, IDF, they have this habit of not speaking the truth, and they got caught. There is actually a report now where it said that everything IDF says so far is complete lie. So yeah, you have it. Again, Google it. You don't have to take my word for that. This after being struck by a car pulling to the side of the road amid the missile attack. Yemeni Houthis militant have fired missiles and drones at Israel repeatedly since last year. Houthis say they are acting in solidarity with the Palestinians since the Gaza war began. In July, you have to understand this. In July, Houthis fired a drone at Tel Aviv for the first time, killing a man and wounding 4 Israeli. And then we have airstrikes, Israeli airstrikes. We know that in response to that Houthi missile attack, targeted port of Hodeidah and killed 6 and wounded 80. In other words, Israel retaliated, or at least they tried to retaliate, because think about this. These people, the Houthis, they wear sandals, and now they're becoming a big headache, a big headache. And so Israel, what can they do? Obviously, it is not financially feasible to go all the way to Yemen to attack them because it takes a lot of money. I mean, manpower and fueling, refueling, so many things. So for Israel, it's a very lost project. They do not. The last people they want to fight on earth is Houthis. Why? Because number one, Houthis, they are poor people, according to Israelis, right? These people are from the desert. They wear sandals. Why should we, waste billions of dollars? Even though, yeah, we know they get free checks from Washington, from the Congress, but it's still, why would I spend billions of dollars for these sandal wearing fighters. Again, I'm not trying to disrespect the Houthis, but what I'm trying to tell you here is that, think about this. Israel has a very established military that takes or that spends billions of dollars. On the other hand, Houthis, they're really nobody, according to, again, the Israelis, the way they see it. According to the Free Press, and I have reported on this before, Free Press journals, Houthis have arrived in Syria. The Houthis in the resistance axis has been limited to direct UAV and missile attacks on Israeli targets, especially in the south of the country. But now they're not limited to using UAV or missiles, ballistic missiles, or any other drone technology. They are now getting involved directly. Houthis are now physically fighting, in other words, with the Zionist entity. The most significant was Houthis' drone attack on Tel Aviv on July 19, 2024. Held military exercises simulating infiltrating through tunnels, taking control of Israeli military bases, and abducting soldiers. So, if, in other words, Houthis, they want to orchestrate October 7th, just like Hamas did, they can. It means they're prepared for it, they're preparing for it, and they're prepared, they have the training, they have the skill, they have the weapons, everything they need for to recreate that October 7th event with Israel. Houthis are ready to do it. So this is a big deal. I mean, this is why Israel said they're attacking Lebanon, because Israeli government, they made a statement that the main reason we attack Lebanon is because Hezbollah members, they were planning a similar attack on Israel like the one on October 7th by Hamas. So Houthis are saying, don't go to Hezbollah. Look at us. We can do it. So this is, again, becoming a big problem for the Zionist regime. According to reports, Houthi fighters have arrived in Syria and are overseen by the pro-Iranian militias. In ITIC assessment, the Houthis do in fact aspire to carry out a ground attack partially as a response to Israel's attack on Al-Hudaydah, the port city of Yemen, where Israel bombed. Collaboration with Iran and the other resistance axis partners led by the militias in Iraq and Hezbollah in Lebanon. We already have talked about Iraqi militia, how they are becoming so effective in terms of attacking the Port Eilat. If you don't remember, I reported on this. Israeli Port Eilat was under attack by a squadron of drones coming from Iraqi resistance forces. And then you have a new attack coming from Houthis in central Tel Aviv, this ballistic missile. Remember, guys, every time Houthi would launch a ballistic missile, it is not like launching a drone. This is why, if you go again, as I said, if you go and search in Google, you will see that the Israelis, the Zionists, they panic so much. Like, they go crazy. Every time the siren says, Israeli siren says, this is a ballistic missile coming your ways. By the way, guys, the siren, I don't live there, but I don't think the siren is the same for the drone and for the ballistic missile. For ballistic missile, I'm sure the siren is more intense. When they hear that kind of siren and announcement from IDF that the ballistic missile is coming, they go crazy. The Zionists, they go crazy. They're like, oh my goodness, I have seen those videos. You can again Google it. They go crazy. They are so panicked. They have absolutely no clue what to do. They find themselves completely helpless. And obviously, they are very, very afraid of these attacks. So this is the ballistic missile, if you do not know. And this is a big deal. Can you imagine if they put a nuclear warhead on it? If they mount something nuclear, obviously that will be the end of the world. That will be World War III. But just think about this. Ballistic missile, guys, and cruise missiles, they make a big difference in modern day warfare. I have some comments here, guys. If you have more comment, leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Have more.